Samadhi siddhihi. Ishvara pranidhanat. Samadhi is fully mastered by your surrender to your divine self, to your inner divinity, to your higher self. This Yogasutra is still talking about the niyamas, those observations and pointers that are conducive for your journey towards self-realization, for your journey towards coming to know yourself. Now, yoga, as so many actually of the religions and also of the philosophies, has this distinct stepping stone that's called Ishvara, and specifically Ishvara pranidhana. It is the surrender to this divine self, surrender to your higher self, surrender to divinity. It's such an important thing because there is an element of grace in self-realization. It isn't done by the person. What you as the person can do is really put forward this interest, this desire, this momentum to come to know yourself, a momentum to start discriminating, very important, viveka, a momentum to meditate. And meditate in a means to start observing the mind and start distinguishing between what you are essentially and what you are not. So all these things, there is a certain thing that the person can actually put into it. But there's also an element of grace. Why are so many people meditating, even in a very discriminative manner, or in a manner that actually observes the mind and also puts then awareness onto itself, but nothing is ever happening. There's an element of grace. You go sort of half the way and then you are taken in by your greater self, yeah? But not from the person's perspective. And so Ishvara is a great stepping stone, just this devotion to something higher, this devotion to God, devotion to a certain divinity, whatever that divinity is for you. It is already actually allowing the person to develop not just devotion to knowing yourself, or devotion to realizing yourself as God, or devotion to that ultimate reality, but also the form of humility that comes with it. To simply know already that the person or this mind body isn't the non plus ultra, isn't the final reality. And this often comes for people when they are actually deeply religious or deeply spiritual, in the sense that there is an element of a divine devotion, or devotion to something. And it often also kicks off someone's spiritual journey. There is an awareness that something higher is present in your life, that something is guiding you, is guiding this personal construct. There's something that you can turn to, something that you can pray to, something that answers to you. This, what answers to you, or what is perceived, or that you have your rituals towards, or that you turn towards, or that you have your religion towards, that is called Ishvara in yoga. It is that which knows, that which is informed about your life. And so many people on this spiritual journey, they develop very passionately, actually, this relationship to the divine. It is some sort of listening already inside to higher guidance, listening already to something that is that doesn't come from your mind, something that is coming from a deeper space within. A lot of people's meditation or mantra meditations, they invoke this, they strengthen this. Prayer strengthens this relationship. Now, obviously, again, you have to be very careful. I say it's a stepping stone because there still exists duality. You are perceiving this divine outside of yourself. You are perceiving this divine form outside of you. This isn't the truth. It's actually also in its form part of yourself. But from the perspective of the person, that's why it's also saying Samadhi Siddhihi, Ishvara pranidhana. What is mastered when you surrender your opinions, when you surrender your willing, steering, that this life has to look this way, that you know better. Even these simple things sometimes, this is how this has to happen now. This is how this has to be now. This, how this has to be or has to happen, or how others have to act, or how life has to be, always comes from an idea of what is possible, what you have been conditioned, what your culture is like, what is the momentary standard, what is seen as normal, all these kind of things. But then there is also this deeper trust and deeper devotion to something higher. What is then mastered? Again, samadhi. Samadhi again is samyak adhyate iti samadhi. It means an intense connection to the self, abiding as the self. As you abide as awareness or consciousness, what the self essentially is. What is happening is you're taking yourself out. By yourself, I mean this mind body. You're starting to actually, and this happens through witnessing, this happens through meditation, you're starting to take yourself out. When you start observing not just something specific, like a mantra or a divinity, or whatever it is, you start observing the mind. What starts to happen is fast that objects start to shine as the I, the subjective stance, starts to be diminished to a point where others come alive in you, meaning their thoughts, emotions, their ideas of self. But it isn't seen as other. It is yours. It is then yours. This level of yours is a very expansive level of yours. You could say this is the great causal level. It's probably the most expansive level of what the I am can perceive. But it's also that this just happens, you know. This is when people have unity experiences. The I, meaning the person in that moment, is gone. The object of focus starts to shine. This is when samadhis are starting to go deeper and deeper within. And then as this expansive quality is also let go of, neither object, you're no longer object focused, you're no longer looking even at the most interesting appearances, spiritual appearances. Then you can become aware of awareness itself. You turn your gaze. You simply rest as what you are. You no longer take on, no matter what it is. You are done with. As you move towards knowing yourself, becoming aware of awareness, more and more of this divine essence we saw in the last sutta, of this divine self, of these forms that divinity takes, you know, of these deeply loved forms. Some of them, you know, might be trained, conditioned to you, you know, culturally conditioned, whatever it is, mantra conditioned. But some of them are also just speaking very deeply to your soul, are already very deeply connected to you. So that's the Ishta Devata also. It is just, you know, your highest expression anyways, you know. It's not why do some of these divine forms actually speak so deeply to us? And why do some of them maybe not speak so deeply to us? Not aversion or stuff, but there's some that there's a deep devotion, deep love for. Usually because they portray aspects of this universal love or universal truth or oneness or whatever it is that speak deeply to your soul. That is already actually everything that appears is already part of you. Speaks already very deeply to you. And so they come more and more alive in you as you. And 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 they actually propel then. Also propel your journey. Also propel samadhi. Also propel grace. Grace for your journey. Support for your journey. And in that way, you are always also, you know, like I sit here, you listen to this. This is an external, hopefully, an external support on your on your awakening path, on your path towards self-realization. It will speak to you because it will speak to you from the self to the self. And it will also, some things will just speak to you on different levels. But there's also always inner support, inner guidance, an inner teacher already present. Something that is already actually guiding your path. It knows exactly what you need, and that will push you, that will propel you, that will support you, that will help you. So every moment, and not all of it, similar to having an outer teacher. If this comes very strongly online for you, as even within your experiential field, it is the same as having an outside teacher. You will not always concur to what is happening from the level of your mind body. Similar to student-teacher relationship, you also have that inside. It's a resistance to life, yeah, oftentimes. And the life is you, and the life is coming from you. But it's also resistance to awakening, resistance to letting go. That's why this divine form and this devotion can propel you greatly, and also in such moments to always surrender. Ishvara pranidhana. Whatever happens, however this then shows up, what the challenge then is for you to let go of certain ideas, of certain knowledge, even all these kind of things, you will have to release, empty out. This is what Ishvara pranidhana also is, the surrender to your divine self, to your higher self. And as this moves you automatically forward in samadhi, an intense staying with the self, your capacity to remain as that, your capacity to stronger distinguish between what you are and what you are not. And so we see how this divine is helping you, is a stepping stone, is an enormous gift, is coming with grace, and is already also inside. And for many people, this is an enormous gift and an enormous help on this path, because there is again an element of grace. So if you have something that exemplifies for you grace, and something that you can turn to and surrender to, there's also some form of inner teacher that you have, not just outer teachers, outer people that you can turn to, which obviously also comes to you in perfection. They also, like who you are attracted to, even as a teacher on this path. And by this path, I mean self-realization, awakening. Look at all of them. What is it you love about them? This is also you, already a part of you, already displaying whatever it is actually that's inside of you, also not really different to you. So, to surrender is part of this game, and it is also helping you to master samadhi. to help you understand even, what is happening. When samadhi, when the different states, you could say, of samadhi happen, again, for some people without knowledge at all, they just meditate and their soul is ripe. Or they meditate very deeply, but they come from different traditions. Yoga has this profound ability to describe unity experiences that many people actually have. And then there is also the surrender. What are you if an object of focus isn't separate from you? Can you still be a person? Is this world really separate from you? And if it is felt as separate, what kind of position are you taking on in that moment? And from what kind of view is nothing separate from you? Another niyama, very important one. Ishvara pranidhana, surrender to the higher self, the divine self. Namaste.